sharing with you all this beautiful spiral shaped needle lace motif which I did recently. In the center the sun has 13 loops in this motif, and I did another motif with 15 loops and the spiral shaped knots over it. We can do as many loops as we want in the center for this lace, but when we proceed further it can form a boat shape also. So I'm going to show you with only 13 loops in center, and you can take your judgment when you're doing further. Let me demonstrate how to do this. Let's begin with this sun center. In the beginning, take the thread, wrap it around your finger to form a cross, insert the needle, and the back portion of the thread should be wrapped anti-clockwise and pulled to form a knot. Leave some space, insert the needle again, wrap the back portion of the thread anti-clockwise and pull. Leave some gap as I am showing here, and the top portion of the thread should be pulled to form a loop. This will be the first loop that we are going to do. In this way we have to form 13 loops for this motif. I am going to show you some more so that it will be more clear. This is the second loop. Place the knot tightly, pull it, insert the needle again, wrap the back portion of the thread anti-clockwise and pull it tightly, and also pull the top portion of this thread to form a loop. Now 3 loops are being formed, and let's continue with another 10 loops. Insert the needle again, wrap the back portion of the thread and pull it. I have shown you in my previous videos also how to do this. I am demonstrating again. This thread should always be on top of the needle, and only the back portion of the thread should be wrapped anti-clockwise and pulled. And now you can see how the loops are being formed. I'm going to show you one or two again and then get back to you when I'm doing the 13th loop and close the ring. This is how it looks. I'll get back to you when I'm doing the 13th loop. Now I have completed the 13th loop and I'm going to close this ring. Pull this thread slowly. And now as you can see, the center is being formed. To secure it more tightly, we can place another knot here. Now the center is being formed. Let's continue with the second row. Second row will be only chain over these loops. I'm using a new thread now And I'm going to show you how to attach this here also. Just keep the thread at the back, insert the needle and wrap the back portion of the thread around the needle and pull it. A knot is formed and we can continue. Later on we can cut these threads. Now insert in the next loop. Make another knot. Now this row will be done in this way. Just a chain all over. Insert the needle in the loop. This portion of the thread always on top of the needle. This is the top portion of the thread, and the back portion of the needle thread should be wrapped anti-clockwise and pulled. This is how it looks. That's the first row. Over this we are going to form spiral shaped knots. Now this row is going to be completed. I'm going to join it here to the first loop. And we can cut this thread. This is how it looks. Then we can proceed further. Also cut these two threads. Now this is the last chain of this row. Now I have to work with beehives. Let me start with the center of this chain. I'm going to place a knot here, very close by. And now let's work with beehive around. I have to place knot in center of this chain, that is between these two loops and this chain. We are going to place knot in the center. And pull it up a bit. Now this row will be done in this way. After placing the knot, pull this thread so that we can see the beehives neatly. Now this row is completed. This is the last beehive of this round that I am doing, and it's almost over. Now this is it, and over this we are going to form spiral shaped pattern, that is these knots one after the other. Now as you can see, I'm going to show you how to form these knots. Now we have to insert the needle not in center of this beehive, just under this thread. And this thread should always be on top and the back portion of the thread. Now this should be wrapped clockwise twice and pulled. Now insert the needle again, not here but under this chain, previous chain. This thread always on top and the back portion of the thread now should be wrapped clockwise 2 times. And thread should be pulled to your right. That is, the knot should be placed right on top of another. That is, this was the previous knot and the knot should be placed here. And next, when you are doing here, the knot should be placed over this knot. Let me show you again. Insert the needle. Back portion of the thread should be wrapped twice around the needle in clockwise direction and the thread pull. When you're pulling the thread, you can hold it here with the thumb and pull it slowly so that the knot is formed right on top of this previous knot. Again, insert the needle inside the second loop, that is down. I hope it is clear. And this should be on top, and the back portion of the thread wrapped clockwise twice around the needle, and hold it here before pulling and pull the thread. Now the next knot should be here. This thread always on top, and the back portion of the thread should be wrapped around the needle clockwise direction 2 times and pulled. Thread should be pulled towards your right so that the knot will be placed over the previous knot. That is just above this knot. We are going to place one more knot. And as we proceed further, in the next rows, shape will be formed very clearly and neatly. Also, you can see how the spiral is being formed. In this row, design is not very clear, but as you proceed from the next rows, design will be more clear, and the knots also will be aligned in spiral shape, one over the other. I hope this is clear now. We are going to insert the needle. Here, wrap the thread twice. And place a knot. You can see this loop and there's one more loop below it. We have to insert the needle in between those two. Now this will be the third round, I think. No, two more we have to go. Now insert the needle in between this. I think it's clear. This thread always on top, back portion of the thread wrapped clockwise twice and pulled to form a knot. Now this row is completed. This is the first row of spiral pattern, and next we have to do in the same way, that is insert in between these two This thread always on top. Back portion of the thread should be wrapped in clockwise direction and pulled. Before pulling, you can leave this thread a bit loose so that the shape is being seen neatly. Insert the needle again here in the next chain, pull it. Now this process should be continued for as many rows as we want. This should be continued. Insert the needle below these two, second chain. Insert the needle again. And pull the thread towards your right so that the knot is placed over the previous knot, or else the knot will be placed in center of this chain and it looks clumsy. Now insert the needle. Wrap the back portion of the thread twice and pull the thread towards your right. Now you can see how these knots are being aligned in a spiral shape, one over the other. Pull the thread towards your right so that the knot is placed on the above the previous knot. Now we can see how the shape is being formed. This process should be continued for another 2-3 rows, or if you want you can continue it also. But this chain will be bigger in each rows. As the rows are more, the chain will be lengthy. Similarly, you have to continue with this stitch for another 2-3 rows. And then if you want to give a different finish over this chain, we can do that also, but I'm going to stop it after I complete another 2-3 rounds to show you just how the shape is being formed. I'll get back to you when I'm doing the 6th or 7th round. Now continuing with the final round, I'm going another 3 more loops to go for this motif to be completed, and I'm going to show you again. Insert the needle between these 2 loops, this thread always on top, and the back portion of the thread should be wrapped twice in clockwise direction, and the thread pulled towards your right slowly, and the knot should be placed above the previous knot in spiral pattern. Now moving to the next loop, insert in between these 2 loops just near this knot, this thread always again on top, and the back portion of the thread should be wrapped in clockwise direction twice around the needle, and we have to pull the thread slowly towards our right so that the knot is placed above this knot. I'm going slowly for you to see how the knot is being formed and also the shape of this loop. As the motif grows bigger, the chain also becomes bigger, and this pattern is more clear. The spiral pattern is more clear. This is it. I have just completed this motif, and I'm going to stop it here. If we want to give a different finish, we can do it with only knots over here. I'll just show you how to do 2 knots and a loop. Now this should be in anti-clockwise direction. This is the double knot, and we can give 2 loops also. Now place knots again. 1, 2. I think we can give 3 knots here for a neat finish, or 3 loops. In this way also we can complete this motif, or we can leave it as it is. It's up to one's choice how to do it. I'll show you with 3 loops and 2 knots. Now we are going to lock this here. When you are locking it, wrap the thread in clockwise direction and pull it let's place 2 knots, wrapping the thread anti-clockwise. And 3 loops. And then place 2 knots again next to it. Even this looks good. We can do of our choice or leave it as it is. Even this looks beautiful. I'm just going to cover this with my finger. This is the portion. This also looks beautiful, or you can work with this also when this looks beautiful. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching again.